Hey everyone, this is Bob Kennedy with Atomic Age Modern and Furniture Refinishing 101 on Facebook and Instagram. Today I just want to go over some refinishing supplies and tools, what you're going to need. I get that question a lot. What do I need to refinish my furniture or to repair my furniture? Well, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but I want to just run down the basics. This looks like a lot of stuff here, and it is. There's a lot of money invested here for furniture refinishing, but you just buy one piece at a time, or as you need things, you acquire them. So let me start off with tools. A nice cordless drill is always a good idea. Nice cordless driver, like screwdriver, that's always a good idea to have. Probably the most important tool that you're going to need is a random orbit sander. You don't need to have the fest tool, that comes later when you're making money off of this. But you want a variable speed random orbit sander, and hooking it up to a shop vac is a good idea. It's going to cut down on dust collection. Along with that, you're going to want some sanding discs. I use typically only 150 when I'm doing basic lacquer furniture refinishes. I'll go up in grit if I'm doing some specialized highly polished stuff or some oil finishes or stuff like that. You're going to want some sandpaper, some regular sandpaper in various grits, probably from 150 all the way up to 400 or 600. Just keep some on hand. You're going to want some 3M green masking tape, the rough surface masking tape. I use the green rough surface tape because it is lacquer safe. It won't pull off your old finish. And you want, probably the most important part, you want a respirator. So a dual cartridge respirator is what I use, and keep the cartridges fresh. You want to change those out every 3 to 6 months. And you want some stir sticks, and as you can see, I keep them around for a long time. I stir my stains and stuff with those stir sticks. You want some green Scotch-Brite pads. Those come in handy for scuffing, lightly scuffing in between coats of lacquer. You're going to want some 4/0 steel wool. Don't go any more coarse than 4/0. You want the super fine steel wool. There's a lot of uses for that. Getting scuff marks off of existing finishes, stuff like that. There's always a use for that. You're going to want some nitrile gloves, obviously to protect your hands. Some rags. Get a bunch of rags. I like the t-shirt material the best. Also some older, terry cloth towels or something that you're not using anymore. Those always come in handy. Simple green. I use that all the time. This is a great cleaner. As long as you don't go overboard with it. Just spray a little on a rag, clean stuff off. Don't clean the whole piece, just spot clean. And then after you do the cleaning, you're going to want a good furniture polish, silicone free. This Oz polish is fantastic. We all have our brand preferences. This is everything I'm showing you here. All the products are going to be commercial grade. Oz polish is fantastic. You're going to have to work to find it. Online you can get it. Really, your hardware stores aren't going to carry it. And you're going to want some wood bleach, oxalic acid crystals. I don't use it often, but sometimes it comes in handy when you want to pull black water rings out. You're going to want wood glue. I like Titebond, original Titebond. I don't care if you use Titebond 1, 2, or 3, they're all great, but you need wood glue. You're going to need some, keep a few of these around, the paint can openers, because you always need those, right? I like to use a tack hammer. Sometimes I have to take some upholstery apart and move some upholstery. Tack hammer comes in handy. Flush cut pliers. Flush cut pliers, they're ground down on one side. Super handy in all kinds of situations. Removing broken nails, broken screws, upholstery tacks, whatever. Come in handy. Rubber mallet, that's important. I'm always knocking chairs apart, so you're going to need one to take chairs apart and re-glue chairs. You're also going to want wood clamps of various sizes, some ratchet straps. Those come in handy when your wood clamps don't fit on the piece. Another thing you want, obviously, is going to be paint stripper. You know what? Whatever you can find at the hardware store, as long as it's not a citrus stripper, because the citrus strippers tend to stain the project that you're working on. Anything else is going to be fine. They're all not great, but they do work. They do get the job done. A few years back, we had the government outlaw the methylene chloride chemical that was in the paint strippers. All the paint strippers used to work extremely well. Now they don't. So we take what we can get. Pretty much anything's going to work okay as long as it's not citrus-based stripper. And you're going to want Bondo auto body filler. Don't mess with the wood filler or anything like that. You just Bondo auto body filler, which will come with a tube of hardener. You're going to need that for a lot of repairs. Stains, glazes, shellac is always good to have on hand. I don't use shellac much, but a great barrier coat for contaminated surfaces. So keep some of that on hand. These cheap chip brushes, you can pick them up at the hardware store. Any hardware store has just get the cheapest ones you can find. All I use these for is to apply stuff like, stains and glazes, and I go through a lot of them. When it comes to solvents, I keep acetone around. It's a great cleaner, and you can also use the thin lacquer. I keep lacquer thinner around. Same thing. It's a great cleaner, and obviously it thins lacquer. You don't want to clean your furniture with this stuff. When I say clean, this cleans the freshly sanded surface. If you try to clean your existing finish, you're going to strip it right off of there. So don't use this stuff to clean finishes. And now I keep a bunch of aerosol cans on hand. I use aerosol lacquers and stuff for basically repairs, and I keep a whole cabinet full of different colors of toners, satin lacquers, lacquer in every sheen essentially is what I keep on hand, and vinyl sealer and retarder. Retarder's always good to keep on hand for your existing finishes. We've all had a situation where we have a white ring that was left by a glass that's sweat on a surface. That's what this is for. You spray a little bit on that white ring and it disappears. Always good to have that on hand. And what I keep is my touch-up kit down here. I'm not going to go through that today because it'll take me forever, and I have a lot of money invested into that. There's pigment powders, brushes, all kinds of good stuff in there. But in the Furniture Refinishing 101 group, I do have a video going over what I keep in my touch-up kit. Your bulk products, if you're using a sprayer, gallons of vinyl sealer, gallons of lacquer, retarder, stuff like that. And when we talk about sprayers, this is the type of sprayer that I use. A lot of shops use these types of sprayers. This is a turbine sprayer. So it's this little box, and it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. And it is high volume, low pressure. There's not a lot of pressure coming through here. It's about 7 pounds of pressure. And here's a gun for it. So it looks like a standard, a siphon cup on the bottom gun. So HVLP turbine sprayers are great to have. A lot of professional shops use them, like myself, and they're portable, and they're relatively low on overspray, and they create a super fine finish. So if you want more info, go check out the Furniture Refinishing 101 group on Facebook, which we're going to link in the description of this group. We'll see you soon.